Welcome to Frywall Fridays. Today we're making polenta fries with the tomato caper dipping sauce. These things are absolutely delicious. They're crunchy and they're tangy and they're gluten-free. They're a little bit of work, but I think they're well worth it. One of the keys to this recipe is picking the right type of cornmeal. So here we have polenta, regular slow-cooked polenta. This stuff is delicious, but it takes about 35 to 40 minutes of cooking time with constant stirring, so we're going to stay away from this one. There's also minute polenta, which is great because it's done really quickly, but I find that it's actually a little bit bland. What we're going to use actually is going to be grits. 5-minute grits to be precise. Grits comes from a slightly different type of corn variety than polenta, but I find that it's very flavorful and it also sticks together and becomes cakey a little bit more than polenta, which makes it really ideal for this recipe. Let's get started. I'm going to bring 2 cups of water to a rolling boil. And now I'm going to very gradually add in a ½ cup of grits. You want to pour this slowly so it doesn't clump up. And then stirring, we're going to cook this for 5 to 7 minutes until the grits begins to thicken and pull away slightly from the sides of the pan. So we have our polenta here, and to the polenta we're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of Old Bay seasoning, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and an ounce of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. We'll mix that all up. And once that's all incorporated, we're going to get our pan here. We have an 11 by 7 inch pan. Anything around this dimension will work. We'll quickly butter it so that the polenta doesn't stick. And then we will pour our polenta. Sorry, I keep on calling it polenta. It is grits. That's the whole point. See, it's gotten a nice color from the Old Bay spice. And then we are going to flatten it out. You want to do this while it's still nice and hot, because as it cools, it's going to set and harden. And the more you wait, the harder it's going to be to flatten it out nicely. So that's good right there. Now we're going to put this in the fridge. Well, we'll leave it out for about ½ hour, 45 minutes to cool. Then we're going to put it in the fridge uncovered for, I would say, overnight at the minimum. It could also stay in there for a good day and a half if you like. So here we have the grits that has been resting overnight in the fridge uncovered, and it has become dry and a little bit firm and hard. That's exactly where we want it. And now we're going to unmold it. Hopefully it comes out easily here. And cut it into fries. All right, little grits. Let's see if you behave. Beautiful. And now we'll go ahead and cut these into fries. You want the sticks to be, I would say, somewhere between 3 and 5 inches long. You want them to be long enough so you have something to grip, but not so long that they are liable to fall apart when getting fried. These are ready to fry. We'll go ahead and set them aside while we take some time to make the dipping sauce. For the dipping sauce, we're going to start with 1 portion of the Marcella Hazan tomato sauce, which is just crushed tomatoes with an onion and some butter. This has been cooking down It's still warm. We're going to add this to our food processor with the onions. And to that, we're going to add capers, lemon juice, and parsley, fresh parsley. And we're going to blitz all of that together. This has gone for about 45 seconds or so, and at this point we have a nice paste. It's pretty consistent, and that is ready to go. We'll set that aside while we fry our polenta. For the frying part, we're going to use a 12-inch pan, and I'm going to add about 1/3 to 1/2 inch of oil to the pan here. I want to make sure that the oil does not come up all the way to the fry wall. You want to leave about a good 1/2 inch of clearance because the fry wall should not be sitting in the hot oil. And we'll let the oil get to about 350 degrees, and we are ready to fry. It's important not to crowd the fries here because they tend to stick together. So I'm going to do these in about 2 batches. They're going to fry for a total of about 7 minutes. Usually they go for about 5 minutes on one side and then they need to flip. The fries look golden brown. These are ready to come out. Don't worry if the fries stick together a little bit. Once they are out of the pan and have cooled off a little bit, they're very easy to separate. So you can see the polenta fries are beautifully golden and crisp, and also see that while they stuck together in the frying pan, once they're out they come together quite easily. Let's get these here onto a serving plate with our dipping sauce next to it, and we'll top it with a little bit of parsley. And finally, we're going to do one final seasoning of Old Bay right on top as that final little kick these things really need to bring out the flavor. There you go. Enjoy.